Hi, I'm Rhonda. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk today about my favorite subject, and that's money. I have learned a lot about myself and my relationship to money. You hear a lot about this when you get into manifesting and trying to attract money, and so I kind of did a deep dive into learning about manifesting and the laws of the universe. Well, there's 12 of them suckers, 12 laws of the universe. And it's not just about the law of attraction, which I'm going to do a free webinar on the laws of the universe, which will be coming soon. And one of the things, I retired about a year ago from a corporate job that I had worked at for 15 years. And, I pulled out my 401k and I had all this money. I mean, I just let it build up and didn't ever really look at it or pay it any attention. But when I retired, I had to draw it out and then I had to do something with it. And with all this money, I call it my prudent reserve or my retirement or whatever you want, I picked up some big time fear again about financial insecurity. And, I was using some of it to supplement my income, and I just got way off into some financial insecurity. And I had more tangible money than I'd ever had. So I decided I was sick and tired of this stuff. Off and on through my life, I have dealt with this insecurity. And it comes from, childhood trauma and, those fears of abandonment and that I'm going to lose what I have. And I have trouble hoarding stuff, thinking I might need that. And I've been that way with money. So the first thing I learned was money was a magnifier. What a concept. And so if I still have some insecurity and fears around money, the more of it I have, the more it magnifies those. Oh my goodness, what a concept. So I had to start working on that, that I don't want money to magnify my fear. And it was like one day, it was like, no more. So I went to battle with this limiting belief that was in my subconscious from years and years ago. I was raised, we didn't have a lot of money, but I didn't think that much about it. I didn't feel deprived or anything, but I just knew that, my mother was very frugal and she didn't work. And she was very frugal, and you use the soap till it's to the last little sliver, and you squeeze out the toothpaste until the whole tube is just good and gone. And if it's not broke, you don't replace it. You fix it until it can't be fixed, then you replace it. So that's kind of that mindset, that concept, that I was raised with. And then, through the years in the marriage I was in, I was responsible to pay the bills, but he made all the decisions. He had all the authority, and I had all the responsibility. And that's one of those things that's part of my codependency. And, since I've not been in that marriage for 30 years, why am I still afraid of this money thing? Well, I thought money was my source. The source that was, to feel safe. If I had enough money, I would feel safe, And I was in a workshop one time, and it was about financial insecurity, and I attended a lot of those. And one of the questions that was asked was, how much money would you need to not trust God? Well, that's kind of what I had to do. I had to change my source. That money is a resource. It is to be used, and that it will not create safety. Oh, I don't know what that's about. I guess I had an idea. Anyway, I don't know where those come from. They pop up on my computer, and well, they're kind of fun. I didn't do anything. Anyway, anyway, that kind of kicked me off. So one of the things that this last year in the manifesting is trying to decide whether to sell some commercial property that I have owned for years. And so there was some things that had gone up in running it, and it needed some work done to it. So I was either going to have to invest some money into it or sell it. And so I started in the manifesting process of selling my building, and kind of got into that process. I found a buyer. It was all good and dandy. And then in January this year, all of that fell through and it didn't happen. So I was a little discouraged, but I just accepted that, okay, so that's not what's meant to be. And I just continued on and was grateful for owning that and the income it had brought me all these years, and all the things that I have been learning about manifestation. And I had watched this thing on manifestation, and it said to do this thing, and I did a release meditation, and I remember it was a Friday. It was that morning. That afternoon, just out of nowhere, a woman called and offered me cash pay for my building, and 2 weeks later I sold it. And that is the power of manifesting. When you get into the right flow, it's not just about attracting, it's about connecting to the oneness of the divine source, and then the vibrations. And I'll talk about that some more. But another key factor that I found is that money is in the masculine, and that we think of it as, it's that masculine energy. It provides, it's a resource. There's some safety and freedom and some of those things in that. But to attract money, you have to get into the feminine energy. And one of the things that I learned is that if you have trauma in your background, especially if it was, from like a male, the trauma that I experienced, that you do peg into the fear of abandonment and the fear of betrayal and threatening. My big key trigger for my trauma is if I feel threatened. Well, money was threatening to me, and I had the fear that it would abandon me, that I would be old and broke one day. Well, I'm old now, but I'm certainly not broke. And if I have that belief in my subconscious, then I am going to attract that. And so I don't want to attract broke. And so I quit saying it. I quit thinking it. I've changed my perspective that money doesn't provide safety, and that it is not threatening. And when that happened, there was this real shift in energy around that. And the fear has, gone away. I have to live in the present moment. I have more than enough, and there's more where that came from. And I keep, putting that out into the universe. And the divine source, which I call God, provides for me exceedingly abundantly more than I can think or imagine. So my greatest tool to peg into all the resources is my imagination. And if I can visualize it, and I can tap into that, and I can set those vibrations, and I can be a woman free of financial insecurity, then I'm going to draw it to me. So I'm excited about this upcoming webinar I'm planning. If you like what I share here, subscribe to my channel. Hit like. Remember to hit like. Share it with your friends. Go to my webpage and look at some other stuff I'm doing. I have a workbook for sale. I have it in segments. I have the whole workbook. And I'm launching a course in July. And that will be, more of an intensive one-on-one working with me. And so I'm excited about some upcoming things that are happening. So just keep checking my webpage or my Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Entreaty by Rhonda Hensley. Instagram, Entreaty by Rhonda Hensley. And it's just what it is. It's entreaty. And, that is a word that really means something to me. And so, I just thought I would share my story about that. That was an inspired action. It was just an inspired idea and action for me to take. So, just remember, be you on purpose.